So the agency came to me, or came to us with this idea for Mercedes, trying to highlighting their attention assist function, which is basically a function that when you're driving along in your Mercedes, it monitors how fast you're driving, your sort of the actions, your steering actions, and then based on your performance in the car over a period of I think 5 or 10 kilometers, it starts working out an algorithm for your behavior. And as soon as that algorithm kicks out the fact that you've been distracted in any way, a little light pops on the dashboard and tells you that you should, really watch yourself. So the idea was to try and highlight this function, and and all of us are sort of privy to the process of getting distracted on the road, whether it's through being tired, or whether it's through fantasizing about the day's work, or whether it's through just having someone else in the car that's sort of distracting you. So that was the core idea, and we were trying to find, the agency came to me with 3 different scripts, and each of them spoke about the same concept, but they had different approaches. The one was, the sort of fantasy of a man driving his Mercedes along a highway, fantasizing about the good old days when he still had hair. The other one was, it initially started off as a man fantasizing about his wife as being better looking than she really was, which we evolved into the colleague script, because we sort of felt like going from a hot girl to a wife was a little bit probably not very PC, but also it wasn't as funny. It wasn't as contrasty as going from a distracted man fantasizing about his work colleague, who happens to be his golf buddy as well. We thought that was funny. So the basic idea was all about the distractions and the fantasies you develop in the car. Nowadays, budget and timing is always a bit of an issue. Timing on this wasn't too bad. Budget was tight, as it is common nowadays. I think though that it did help us to sort of sharpen our thought pencils a bit in terms of the execution, because constraints like budget always make you think smarter about what you shoot. And that was the cool thing about these scripts, is that they had such a simple one-line approach that you could really think about them quite smartly and execute them quite cleverly without having to blow the bank. I think that could be an indicator of where to go in terms of the way people can construct commercials nowadays. I think that with tighter budgets, you can't do a Michael Bay, but you can do something still very clever and very cool looking. It just comes down to the concept.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes